he hadn't been 100%. At Missouri, he had a couple chances to really hit some seams and really turn on the gas, but he didn't want to re-pull his hamstring, so he kind of geared it down. And against Mississippi State, a time or two, you saw him break, and he kind of geared it down. And then last week when he broke, he was able to turn it loose, so you can see that he's getting healthier. Last week he wasn't quite 100%, but you could tell he was close. And our goal this week is to get him to 100%. So we'll be very smart with him in practice. But he's playing at a very high level, and when he's on the field, he can do a lot of different things.
Coach, you referenced that it's 1999 was the last time Auburn won in Baton Rouge. I know you haven't been involved in all those games, but what's made that such a tough place to play?
Well, first of all, their talent. They're usually one of the more talented teams, in our league. They got a good home field advantage, and when I've been a part, we hadn't particularly played well. So we got to solve that. And it's a new year. It's a new year. It's a new team. They got a new team. We got a new team. New year. But that is the fact.
Bouncing back to carry on, it seems like when he's got a choice on holes, he almost always makes the right decision. Is that something you guys kind of taught him, or are people like that born?
I think running backs are born instinctively. You can coach landmarks, pressing the line of scrimmage, and reading the backers, but my experience is special ones have a unique ability where they can make things right and they can make good decisions going full speed.
Is he among the best you've seen with that particular skill?
He's pretty good. I've been blessed to coach a lot of good ones, but I'd say he's right up there.
Against LSU, how important is it to be physical at the line of scrimmage?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is always one of those games that, it's usually one up front on both sides of the football. And, last year was a very physical game, and this year we expect it to be the same. And, that's always fun to play a team that's physical, and they usually are, and we usually are, and it's usually a good one.
Gus, what have you seen out of Derek Brown now that that he moved into that full-time role, full-time defensive tackle spot? Now that he's halfway through the season?
There's nothing like experience, especially in our league, and I think you see him getting more and more experience and using his hands better and setting a point better, and trying to hold points on the line of scrimmage and try to play in their backfield.
What made Austin Wilson able to be so versatile on that offensive line? Because usually at this level, you usually slot a guy into a certain spot.
Yeah. He has experience. He's a smart guy. He picks up on things very quickly. We've never had a guy, I think, do 3 positions, much less 5. So that really tells you a lot about him and everything that goes with it.
The success that you're having right now, just wondering your philosophy on how you deal with positive press, possibly impacting your players in a negative way.
Whether it's 4 weeks ago or whether it's today, our team, we stay pretty insulated. We don't worry about anybody else's expectations or what they think. Outside, it's just about us getting better. We're playing better. I told our team we've not arrived. I'll let them know when we arrive. But we're in the process of having a chance to become a good team. But you can't read anything into. I always address the social media part, about other people's opinion, and really people's opinion doesn't matter anything at all with a team. And so it's just something that as a coach this day and time you have to address. I wish it wasn't that way, but that's a challenge. I think that's a challenge for every head coach. It's one of the bigger challenges because kids are different these days. They're social media, and the power of when you read something, what that really means. So I think that's a challenge for every head coach, whether it's good or bad, or it's never too good or never too bad, and you just gotta keep it within your room.
How has your offense come so far from where it was against not just Clemson but Mercer?
Yeah, I think like I said earlier that you got a new coordinator, you got a new quarterback, you got some new starters, and just the reality of kind of everybody getting comfortable. Start playing to your strengths. Chip was brought in to provide balance and more shots down the field, and he's done that. And we've been able to hit some of those explosive pass plays. We've had explosive run plays too. Our tempo has gotten better. So I think it's just more of a kind of all the above. You know, everything kind of coming together, being more comfortable, kind of knowing who we are, running the football effectively. I think that's really where it all starts. And then having the ability where your quarterback is highly efficient, protecting the football, making good decisions. You know, I think the fact that we're spreading it around to a lot of different receivers, I think that's always good. So, but you know, we still have a lot of areas to improve on. And this time of year, we're at the halfway point, and coaches can see your tendencies. They can see what you're good at, what you're not good, and they can try to take stuff away. And this time of year, it's about execution, and it's more about execution right now than any other time. Because as a coach, whatever you're good at, you want to keep building upon those things. Well, other teams know that, and they're going to try to stop it, and you got to have an answer when they try to do certain things like that. So really, it's more about execution this time of year than it was the first half.
Since it's been since 1999, since Auburn's won at LSU, you contemplated ways of trying to hammer that home with the team, whether it's bringing in speakers from the 99 team or anything along those lines?
No, you know, just be honest and upfront. And I think if you talk to our players, this is a new year. They're their own team. Even though some of our players were there 2 years ago, this is a different dynamic. It's a new staff. They've got a new team. They got a new head coach. Everything's different. So we do need to be. We do need to understand. It's been a long time since we've beat them there. I think we all need to know that. But this is a new year, and that's the way we're looking at it. And you know, it's a big challenge to go there and win.
You know, things are always magnified in the state. Troy went down there 2 weeks ago and won. Do you think there's added pressure on you guys after that happened?
We're not worried about anything that's happened up to this point, good or bad or in between. I mean, it's the week that we have to play LSU. They're in the West. It's a very important game, and you know, so we don't get caught up week to week and who they're playing or who they played and who we played.
Do you think the spectacle of that Clemson loss still kind of drives your players every day right now?
I think so. I think so. I mean, when you bring up that name, it hurts to hear that, you know. And so I know that it motivates our players and our coaches. But you know, all the experiences you have up to the first half helps build everything the second half. And the challenge is, very few teams around the country can continue to improve. It's extremely hard to do. It takes a lot to be able to get up each week and play at a high level. Very few teams can do it. And that's our challenge. I mean, it's not easy. We talk about it, we address it, and if we do it, then we'll end up having a pretty good year.
Does it hurt you personally to talk about Clemson? Does it bother you?
I mean, anytime you lose as a coach, you don't like negative thoughts and stuff like that.
Gus, in your fifth year, as far as building a program as opposed to just a team, building a program, could you just talk about where you think you are in that process?
Yeah, you know, like I said before the year, you know, I feel very good about our players from a talent standpoint. I feel very good about the character of our team. I feel very good about our staff as far as not just being good coaches, but good people, good examples for our players. So it feels real good right now as far as just all the stuff that it takes to have a chance to be a consistent top program. We have the makings for that. The challenge is we got to continue to show that on the field. And we've done that the last 3 weeks, so you feel pretty good about that. But you got to be real with yourself as a coach that the second half of the year, then that's, you know, the meat of our schedule is coming up. And we got a chance, and that's the message. So, but overall, I feel very good about where we're at, and we just got to finish strong in the second half.
You feel like you're where you need to be, like facilities and all those kind of things?
We're getting closer, yeah. We're getting closer, and really, to be honest with you, I'm thinking about LSU. You know, I'll think about more of that at the end of the year and all that.
Considering where Petway is right now, do you have any regrets about the way things were handled week 2, 3?
You know, as a coach, when you do something for 27 years, just like whatever you do for 15 years, you make decisions that you think is the best, at that time. And then you always have the ability to look back and say, well, we probably should have rested him more. And kind of like I said last week that, whatever we did up to that point wasn't working. Okay, so we tried a different approach. So let's get him healthy before we put him back out there. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things at the time you make a call, and as a leader, that's part of it. And you make calls that you think are the best at that time. And so that's probably the best way to answer that.
Gus, how do you handle an Arden Key? Because is it their
Yeah.
responsibility to point him out on every play, or
He-
do you have to,
yeah.
because worrying about him, there's 10 other players on the field.
Right, and nobody needs to point him out. I mean, we're all going to know where he's at. I think it's just part of dealing with an impact player. You know, schematically, you got to do the best you can to not give your guys a disadvantage or give them an advantage. But you know, you got to play football, but we'll know where he's at. But you got to put a plan together.
In your trips to LSU, one common theme has been that you've gotten down multiple possessions pretty
Yeah.
quickly in those
Mhm.
games.
Yeah.
A fast start's always good, particularly on the road, but do you emphasize the importance of it this week, given your history at LSU?
Yeah, you know, I think you know, we've said that the last 3 weeks about getting off to a good start, and we have. And I think you hit it on the head. We've got behind early, consistently, and we've got to overcome that. And that'll definitely be part of the message.
How's Devin Barrett come along as a freshman running back?
You know, he's getting more comfortable. I know the coaches are getting more comfortable with him. He's been protecting the football, and I think he's done a good job. And he's getting more confident too. And so I think you'll see him have more opportunities in the second half of the year.
How's Cam Martin doing?
He's a little bit better. You know, he wasn't quite 100%. You could, but still, he plays a high level, and he gives a little different, you know, change when you put him in there.
When you look around the league, the common denominators of the top teams in the league seem to be they all play great defense. Is that something? Have you seen the defenses in this league kind of evolve and strengthen?
You know, I think over the history of our league, if you really look, I mean, the teams that have a chance either win championships or have a chance to win championships are in that middle of it. They're all playing really good defense, and you know, that's really, I think, what separates our league from a lot of leagues is the elite defenses. And when you play those elite defenses, it's a challenge.
Gus, with everything that went into last year's game and what happened at LSU after it, did you ever speak to Les Miles after it? And I don't know if you saw that he'll be recognized at halftime of this game on Saturday, but have you spoken to him since that
Yeah.
game, and what are your thoughts of just him returning to LSU in this?
Yeah, I have talked to him, and I think I talked to him that week that happened. I got a lot of respect for Les Miles. He's an outstanding coach. He's not a good coach. He's an outstanding coach, and I think he's a great person. And I think it's a really good deal that they're honoring him. And you know, I've talked to him numerous times. Obviously, we hired Larry Porter. Larry Porter worked for him. He gave him a great recommendation. So I got a lot of respect for Coach Miles.
Jared Stidham said he learned a lot about himself after that Clemson game, just even off the field, you know, chatting with Chandler Cox and teammates. What have you noticed from him? Is there anything different about him after that game?
You know, I think anytime you go through adversity, you know, it either brings out the best in you or the worst in you, and I think it just brings out the best in him. And sometimes you have to go through experiences, and you got to keep in mind his number of starts. You know, up to that point, you know, he's still a freshman. What was it, game 6 or something like that? So, you know, he's getting better. You can tell he's getting more comfortable and more confidence, and you know, he's playing at a high level, and we just got to keep building upon that.
What's the key been for your receivers? They just seem to be different for these last few years.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of it has to do, they're getting a little older, but and they got more game experience, but they're getting some opportunities. They're getting a little more opportunities down the field, and you know, as a receiver, being a former receiver, when you make a play, it just gives you more confidence moving forward. So I think it's a combination of both those.
What's the specific difficulty of facing a Dave Aranda defense? He usually doesn't allow more than 20, 21 points in a
Yeah.
game, Gus, and the only game you've ever won as a head coach scoring less than 20 points was against them last year. Just what's the difficulty of facing an Aranda defense?
Well, I mean, he's a good defense coordinator, and there's a lot of good defense coordinators in our league, but they got a lot of talent. And when you put a good coach together with talent, I mean, it's a challenge. You got to earn things.